Hi folks, welcome back. As you can see, it's a beautiful sunny day in Blackpool. Mission today is to resolve the leaking pipes going through to the kitchen, going through to the shower room. So I've took the toilet out and I've got the pipes sorted out. A bit of semi-rigid red for the hot, and I've just delivered some semi-rigid blue for the cold. So we'll get on with that and bring you back when it's sorted out. I've also going to make up a little framework for the batteries. So done the pipe work. It's been left on now for a good 2 hours. So there's no joints in the cupboard now, so it's just straight pieces of pipe, so I don't have to worry about any leaks in there. The other side, same, T-pieces have been taken out and it's proper semi-rigid push fit T's and a little non-return valve there on the cold to stop that backing up through the hot. Made up a little framework to house the two leisure batteries. Will be going sitting side by side there. That's just a little frame, just to seat the batteries in, stop them sliding about. So got some trunking in. That's the trunking for the solar cables. So the two cables from the solar panel, which isn't on the roof yet, that's the cables for them. So that's coming through to there. They'll be fused at the board there before it goes to the charge controller. So it gives me means of isolation and fusing the power, incoming power from the solar panels. So as you can see, a real snug fit in there. There you go. Just drops in nicely. Once it's in, it ain't going nowhere because these batteries are heavy. Get the two of them in, get them in position. As I say, I'll also fix some means of restraint over the top of them, or maybe a strap round them. Either way, they'll have another means of fixing. Yeah, quite pleased with how they fit. They don't obstruct anything. I've got these battery terminals with the 3 connections on. Got 2 sets of them, so a couple for the positive, a couple for the negative. Obviously the centre one will be for linking the actual batteries together and for the power out to wherever I'm going, fuse board and whatever. And then the other 2 connections on it will do for accessories at a later date. So if anything needs to be wired back to the leisure battery, I'll have a connection there that I can use and just fuse it. That's the little trunking cap that will go on once everything's all tied up and finalised. Just checking that the door actually shuts, doesn't foul anything. Happy with that. So the next mission is I've got to try and suss out what's what here, get them all labelled up, and yeah, it looks a bit of a mess. It's just cables, and that's the fridge hookup. So the fridge obviously also works on electric as well as battery. That's the mains incoming, and the other wires trapped on top of the little socket there are the wires to the water pump. So anyway, we've got it all disconnected. This is the connections to the battery, believe it or not. They were Jubilee clipped to the cables. So How, how this thing never went in fire, I don't know. But anyway, that's another story. We've got 2 blue wires. That's your positive and negative, both blue. They've got some green and yellow tape wrapped around one of the wires to denote that that's the earth. We'll sort it out. Anyway, through to this end, and where the cables all come in. Some of these are in a bad way. I don't know whether they've been jamming things in on top and things have been getting crushed against it, but that's the insulation from the main earth coming through from the cab battery. And as you can see, it's literally in bits. So the cables are just all wangled and tangled, and there's just no how can I say, order. Likewise, that consumer unit controls everything. It's one switch, and everything, the electric that's in here is connected through that consumer unit, so it's only one trip switch. It's as much use as a chocolate fire guard, but never mind. We'll get it ripped out. We'll get it replaced with probably a 4-way. We can wire the fridge directly to one of the trip switches, the sockets to another, lights to another, and to just separate things up so that they've all actually got an appropriate rated fuse for the circuit that they're using. So anyway, we'll get there, and we'll get them there. That's the hookup there. So obviously disconnected for the moment because still not 100% sure what I'm going to do with charge wires. So that's the main battery. It's all disconnected for the moment. I'm going to make a start on disconnecting all this and getting it all labelled up so that I know exactly what's what and what's being controlled by what, and then we can get it all separated and isolated so that it all has their own fuses and a bit of protection. So that's the cable for the fridge, which was plugged into that little extension. Not sure why it's a 3-socket extension, because it's the only thing that was plugged into it. But anyway, it's coming out. I'm going to wire the fridge directly into a breaker on the consumer unit. I'll find out what the rating is. This is a DC to DC charger, battery to battery charger, and solar controller. So it's a 50 amp solar MPPT. So really clever piece of kit, which fits nicely where the old consumer unit used to be. And I'll move the old consumer unit possibly through beside the batteries. I don't know. I'll wait and see how it all pans out. But anyway, we've made head and the tail of it all. We've got all the cables all wired, all disconnected, all labelled. I know exactly where everything goes to now. I've been under the van. That's the plug for the fridge. As I say, I'm going to disconnect that. That's the 12 volt for the fridge. So yeah, I know where it all is now. So I'll get some bits and pieces to sort out, and we'll put it all back together. But it's been a productive weekend. I know it doesn't look that way, but it has been. I've got to the bottom of it. So anyway, me and the big man over there, that's all for this week. Take care out there, folks. Ta-ra for now.